Good afternoon to you, Daniel Miller here. How's everybody doing today? It's another cloudy, slightly drizzly day over here in London suburbs. It's been a lot fresher to what we've had during the last couple of weeks, particularly during last night. I have to say I slept really well, even too long in fact, due to that lovely fresh air coming down from the river, really. And yesterday I had a wonderful discovery, believe you me. It was quite extraordinary. 15 boxes of DVDs, and many of them in factory wrappers, almost completely new. And somebody was probably doing a house clearance or going elsewhere, like moving house, and they didn't want to take them with them. And all the boxes, 15 of them, full of all kinds of goodies. And really, it's going to take me a little while to get through it all. I certainly discovered some treasures, some of the videos, some films that I've seen a little while back, and I was very pleased with my discovery. It did take me a bit of time to bring it back home, but now the question is of the space. What am I going to do? Because this is quite a few videos, and quite a few DVDs, as you could imagine. So that's been taking up a lot of my time today, just sifting through it all and making sure that I was doing a selection, because those that I do not want, I'll give to a charity shop. The reason I'm raising this here today is quite simple. The value of certain types of products can evaporate into thin air overnight if there are some other inventions. And I remember what happened with the VHS, for instance, after the DVD was invented, as well as with the Laserdiscs in the US, and I purchased a very large quantity of one and the other. At the time, as the market was plummeting, and really the VHS I could buy for as little as 10 pence. In Britain, and the Laserdisc as little as 10 or 20 cents being sent to me from the US, and therefore I accumulated very large collections of films on those formats. The same thing is happening today, although we did not have a completely novel physical format introduced. We know full well that Blu-ray never really took off in a big fashion as far as the video or film collecting is concerned, due to its price, first of all, and secondly due to the invention of live film streaming, which obviously we can be watching on any platform such as Netflix, Amazon Prime, Mubi, Hulu, Criterion, you name it, TCM in fact as well, run their own streaming service. And the major television stations in Britain like the BBC and Channel 4, ITV, they're also running their streaming services with lots of films on offer which are instantly accessible at almost no cost, and that itself had killed off the value of the physical product. And I think it's very likely that we will see the same sort of demise of the physical product from gaming. It is a bit more difficult because the games have been released over a period of 20 years, and we've seen with backward compatibility on Xbox that regrettably we still will need that physical product in order to load the game. And it's obviously very good, proper, right and noble that they're offering the service to which we can use them on the latest state-of-the-art console. But it does make it a bit difficult if you have to be traveling abroad or going elsewhere. You need to be carrying all the discs with you, and I'm talking about the games which have been released on other consoles prior to the Xbox One. And I hope that this is going to change in the near future as we get our new Xbox Project X released with xCloud as well, because there was some talk of all the information being stored on your own personal xCloud. So if you are confirming the license that you obviously have through the purchase of that disc, that you are the legal owner of it, then that should be no trouble with the information that is launched through the server and also through your own personal account on xCloud. So I'm really hoping that this is going to be fully fledged, and really hoping that I will not be having a need to carry both my console and the discs together with me, because I do travel quite a bit at times, and it makes it really rather inconvenient to have everything on you. But then that's just the way it is. It's a bit like what we had to do in the past if we were shooting a film. All the equipment, all the lighting, it all had to be brought in on a plane to another country. If you wanted to shoot today, it's a different story. In a global economy, you can hire the equipment locally, and also the most important thing is that a lot of those bits of equipment are kind of miniaturized compared to what we had in the past, particularly if you're shooting on digital. And you can shoot a feature film that could be released in cinemas on your iPhone, as we've seen with some of the films recently released, most notably the one of Steven Soderbergh, which he did entirely on his iPhone, and I have to say the result was really quite astonishing. You could see that the techniques appeared to be a bit rigid and contrived, but that was an experiment in any case, and you can certainly see that the film was contrasting the usual currently very trendy style of editing, where you're constantly doing jump cuts and moving camera and everything happening as if you were watching a trailer for a video game or some sort of major performer and their own music video. So that really is definitely remarkable. It's a major change. And physical products are having no value attached to them. In fact, in Britain, for all of you who are familiar, or all of our global viewers, we have very many charity shops, and we have the charity sector that is the largest on earth, and it's been here for many centuries, in fact, just developed over decades. So our charity shops are selling unwanted goods, and people can donate everything that they do not need anymore. That includes clothing and crockery and electronics, as well as DVDs, games, you name it, anything really, bric-a-brac. And they really sell that in very large quantity on very low prices. It's a nominal prices. In my town we have very many charity shops. In fact, we are privileged to be here, and they're very, very well stocked because it's a very wealthy area, and they take in literally everything. But I've seen, and after talking to a few of my friends who work in those places, that they're considering whether to stop taking in DVDs, not just because they don't want to sell them or that people wouldn't want to buy them. Certainly there are customers, but they said the influx of those has been massively increasing, meaning that people are bringing in their entire collections, donating, because there's no need anymore for that to be kept, as they can access this content live online, and most notably through Netflix and Amazon Prime, which are the most popular streaming services on the planet, very well used in the UK, and Netflix UK is one of the best, really. Loads of titles accessible on your PC, many more to the list you can access on your Android apps. So just make sure, if you're using Netflix, that you research that on the internet, and you get the codes which you can enter on your PC, and you will get many thousands of extra films that otherwise do not pop up on your apps. And the reason for that is the search engine and algorithm that's detecting what you previously viewed and what your interests are, meaning what kinds of videos and films you were checking out, the ones you kind of looked at but did not watch, and that sort of thing. And as you know, the algorithms today are very, very advanced. They can really precisely determine what you've been doing, and I'm really astonished with the kinds of information I get on Google on my Android phone, because it's all detecting my overall activity on the phone. Sometimes you get articles that you probably will not notice otherwise, but they will link to something you had seen a little while back that was quite distinctly rare, and indeed that really brings up the sphere of interest that then keeps persisting, and you get lots of articles and other bits of information that otherwise you would have missed. It's pretty good. But on the other hand, I think if you're a conspiracy theorist, or if you're a bit sort of suspicious, you would say, well, hang on a minute, somebody's monitoring, or something is monitoring everything that I do. And that's absolutely true, because all of your activity online is absolutely and fully monitored. So you're not anonymous, and you're not like an incognito type of personality you would have been 20 years ago. So if you have concerns, you have to refrain from the usage, because the tech that is currently deployed is very, very actively seeking somebody's activity, and will be able to both record and detect this in no time. So nowhere to hide really. If you are an avid mobile phone user, it will not help if you were using aliases and different identities, because the way it's detected, the way it works is primarily through the ISP, and we know full well that in the UK, after many years of saber rattling, the ISPs did impose a ban on certain types of services, and previously the pirated sites that were providing films which were unlicensed and illegally distributed were able to operate in the UK. Today that's no longer possible, and that includes lots of other illicit sites that include pornography and crime and all sorts. And you will get just a message saying that there is a high court ban on the use of such services, and the ISP was able to detect it, and that's about it. So the actual access to those is completely prevented. And also, if you were trying to be accessing such services, the algorithm will be detecting this, but no action will be taken, I think, unless it was something seriously criminal, because quite frankly, you can't be accessing the services as they are simply blocked on the ISP, and the ISP is basically the entity that collects all the data, and data is very, very precise. So anonymity you can just simply send to oblivion. If there is a need to find out who did what on the internet, believe me, it can be established in a very, very short period of time. Coming back to my DVDs, I had some really good finds. I've had lots of films from the 90s and from the noughties, but also I was surprised to discover that there were lots of films released in the last decades. In factory wrappers, these DVDs that would have been costing £10-15, and obviously nobody bought them, nobody looked at them, and today nobody wants them. The chaps that left those boxes, they obviously were avid DVD collectors, or indeed maybe they were also running some sort of online DVD business, because that won't be the purpose of keeping all those DVDs in factory wrappers. But there's a nice collection, and for me certainly a very good way of doing refreshers on some of the films I've seen in Cineworld. I have my unlimited pass, and I use it at all times. Not at the moment. I don't want to go to cinema before we get the vaccine for COVID, or before we really get more knowledge on how the virus is transmitted, because cinemas, as well as libraries and airplanes, are the greatest really focal points of the virus, where people, due to their concentration and activity, could be spreading it very, very easily, and therefore I'm avoiding such places, full stop. In fact, the libraries in Britain are fully closed. We can't really use them. We can do the online services, but not in person. And the cinemas have opened, I think it was about a couple of weeks ago, and I've seen and talked to some of my friends. It's absolutely vacant. There's nobody going in there. Obviously, maybe in central London you get some people coming, but for the local cinemas, nobody's taking a chance, and I think it is going to have a very serious impact for cinemas and the industry overall. So that was my treasure trove. That was my treasure chest. That was my lucky find. And as an avid collector and a person who has been hunting treasures through auctions and both in real life and online, and somebody who had lots of visits to collectors' fairs, I'm always delighted to have a lucky find. But it's very easy today. If you're in an area where people are likely to be circulating various types of goods, I think some people don't even bother anymore to take things to charity shops if they know they're likely to be rejected. But it's good to see that particular clothing and other kind of items that can be used for something very useful and very good, in terms of our local community, can be accepted and can be then sold, to others on a very, very low price. And DVDs obviously are part and parcel of this. You can get them really as cheaply as a couple of DVDs for £1, and the price have gone down from maybe £5 to about 20-50 pence, and even CEX is selling the vast majority of DVDs on 50 pence. So if you are an avid collector, there's never been a better time for you to bring in some of those items and find some of the rare titles. I have to tell you that my word of advice would be you can combine the films that are easily accessible with those that are not, and you'll find many DVDs there that are not of interest, but there will be some that are otherwise unavailable through streaming services. Streaming services can be very much concentrating on the biggest releases and the ones that are kind of commercially successful. If you're into old films or anything that will come out of archives, you will need to be subscribing to such services, and in Britain we have the BFI player, and that is a relatively new service. It's been around for about 5 or 6 years, massively enhanced with loads of classics, and on the price of £5, which is less than half the price of the actual cinema ticket at the BFI, you get access to more than a few thousand films, and that includes many of those that are very rare from the vaults of the National Archive. There's a big section called Britain on Film, and there are unbelievable treasures and jewels and gems in there for anyone who's interested in research. Many of them are really very short films. Some of those are from the very beginning of the century, and anyone who's interested in kind of a local community research, we'll find out that indeed lots of amateurs were making short films of their local areas, and they'll discover what certain places, let's say like Bolton or Oldham or many places in Suffolk, would have looked like in 1901 or 1910 or during the First World War. So all of that is definitely very much of interest to all. Anyway, I've been telling you about my lucky find, all the videos, 15 boxes of DVDs, and many of them in factory wrappers, and individual copies. It was like 10 copies of the same film. So I'm still going through this, and it will take me a little while, certainly a couple of days, to make a selection. Amongst them there's some also video games. Quite a few of them are fairly old PC and PlayStation 2 ones, but it'd be interesting to have a look at those as well, to see if there are some games that perhaps I do not have, and some of those which may be of my interest. I've got to say that on PS2 generally lots of people circulate driving, fighting and sports games, and that's not really my turf. I don't really play those ever. I prefer sports out there and don't find them particularly interesting. But it's a bit of a niche, and as we know, people who are into soccer, they like playing Pro Evolution or FIFA or any other ones, and there are I think a few of those in here. Definitely worth checking on my old consoles. Right, so what are the news? Well, the news obviously today is that Red Dead Redemption 2 is still on Xbox Game Pass. They did say it was going to disappear this week, but let's see how long it is going to last. We've had a very good streak of broadcasts on my channel, and I've gone, well, I wouldn't say very far in the game, but I did very consistently and diligently all the tasks. So we've gone, I think, up to about 15% of the story and about 19% of the overall activity. I spent a lot of time doing side quests, and that was particularly good, because in Red Dead, if you're progressing story-wise, you're likely to be missing out on some, side quests, like, for instance, meeting strangers and them asking you to help them, and therefore you need to complete certain tasks. Very important to discover them and then talk to everyone and offer help. You will be getting some rewards in due course as you do that. Some will reward you straight away, many will reward you as you meet them later in the game, so worth keeping in mind. The other thing is, I hope everybody watched and listened to our podcast dedicated to this game. I was exploring its history, the way the game was conceived, made, developed, sold, and all the works that were spent on the sequel as the first game was released. And we've had many bits of trivia, interesting facts and figures, as well as some research on how accurate the game is in terms of the American history, the US history. That's represented here, turn of the century, 1899 to 1900, is beautifully portrayed. And what's very interesting, and I think very wise, and I described it in depth yesterday, is that Rockstar Games basically didn't make a mistake that Ubisoft indeed managed to make a few years back with Ghost Recon Wildlands, where they really went to a real country, into the real areas, and present a fictitious story. And the story was of drug dealing and cartels that caused a major upheaval in the country in question, Bolivia. So people were very, very unhappy that the country was being portrayed to younger audiences as a drug den and a totally corrupt society, which indeed may not be really true to fact. And for the next game, the Breakpoint, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, that is, they went they basically resorted to a fictitious area as well as the story and everything else in order to avoid. So in this instance, they've used a method which is interesting. You have real areas that you'll be able to recognize, right? But they all have fictitious names. So it's fictitious locations and counties and states, as well as the towns and villages, and therefore if you are looking at them, you will be making assumptions. Aha, this is actually New Orleans. Aha, this is, for instance, this part of the country that I know quite well. So there are references visually, but in terms of the story, because obviously people could get very concerned that something was historically inaccurate or falsely represented, you had that degree of invention, and I think this is really wonderful. This is a very creative way of looking at it. But on the other hand, a selection of characters in the game are actually based on historic figures, like for instance Van der Linde gang. They're based on one of the gangs that operated at that time in the American South. And also you have other characters and situations that are resemblant. You will get lots of cigarette cards, and you'll have to complete a collection in there. That collection will give you a very, very good picture of what America looked like during those days. Most importantly, you will get to know more about the towns and cities as they were evolving. They had the Industrial Revolution somewhat later than us in Europe. Then we've had the other selection of like gunslingers, characters who we've seen in other westerns or graphic novels. Pinkertons, for instance. I talked yesterday about the fact I got to know, heard of Pinkertons through Lucky Luke. I don't know whether you guys are familiar with this Belgian graphic novel, a very, very popular character from the 70s, maybe in the 60s. A cowboy who sort of goes around the wilds and then is collecting some of the hoodlums and some of the nasties who are operating outside of any form of law and civilization, doing some nasty things to local citizens and inhabitants, settlers. So I heard of Pinkertons through the graphic novel, and then I researched it a bit through some other books, and I figured that also they're featured in Zane Grey's novels, and I saw them later in westerns. So for me it was graphic novels, literature and films, right? But in here you will get to know about Pinkertons literally from the word go, because they were the big agency, the private detectives hired by the US government in the 19th century to be chasing outlaws, because they didn't have their own police and their own federal services at the time. So you hear about the Pinkertons as the game kicks off. They talk about Pinkertons. So very important for everyone to look at cigarette cards and then learn about these characters, because these characters are absolutely 100% historically accurate. Even if they're given different names, you'll be able to make references and recognize who they actually were. So the representation of the South and Wild West is immaculate, and I think therefore the game had received huge praise everywhere, received wonderful reviews, and overall has been embraced by the gaming community literally in every country of the planet. The other thing is, this is a game that really resembles Destiny to a degree in its open world. It's massive, and there's a lot of activity that you can complete. And then, unlike in Destiny, they split it into on-disk and online activity. So once you played everything on disk, you can then migrate to online, and online obviously will have new content added and the new characters and lots of different things which you can do, significantly different to what you have on the disk, but still aligned with the story and with the environment to certain characters and activities. So really a game that you can play for many months and years ahead, and I'm certainly both loving it and enjoying it. I got to say that on my first run, when I was just trying it, I had some difficulty in kind of focusing on all the characters and the locations. But once I've gone back to it recently for my stream here on Twitch, I discovered that the game was 100% for me, and really my sort of game, with lots of exploratory works, with a tremendous number of activities in this wonderful vast open world, as well as some story-based missions, campaigns and side quests. And once you get into how you can play the game, and this will be very much down to every individual participant, then you can consider what steps to take, and you'll soak up all that is there to be enjoyed and embraced in this wonderful Rockstar games creation. Therefore, I'm loving it, and unfortunately once they discontinue on Xbox Game Pass, I'm not going to be able to play it, because I want to have the Ultimate Edition. The Ultimate Edition is still very, very expensive, so like in all instances I'll just sit on it and wait until the price drops. But we have the privilege of those streaming services to which we can explore these massive games up to a certain point, and therefore it's the best possible both tester and taster, and for us all a service that is very, very cost effective. You pay your monthly subscription and then you can simply enjoy all the games that are on offer. More than 100 here on Xbox Game Pass, more than 700 on PlayStation Now services. Altogether we are talking about roughly 1,000 games. Some of those are rotating, others are staying there permanently, and the system they have is slightly different between the two services. You will get many more games that are simply streamable and not downloadable on PS Now services. Although they said they will kind of change this in due course, but it's not happened yet. The newer games are being all made downloadable, but I really want to be downloading some of the older ones as well, which they are not allowing us to yet. Being able to download is having multiple benefits, from better quality audio visuals through the actual non-buffering, and then most importantly, if you're a streamer, you can stream the same game straight away to Twitch or YouTube or any other platform, and that's obviously to our great advantage. Really, I think Xbox Game Pass services are somewhat superior, although they have fewer titles, because they keep bringing in some heavyweights, and although they're not staying there indefinitely, you still have a chance for 3 months to try them in depth. 3 months seems to be a reasonable amount of time for a game of this size for people to explore. But the teasing temptation there is all the other titles, so you'll try many titles at the same time, and you'll be hopping from one game to another, perhaps not finishing some of them. Therefore, very important to keep your own diary and jot some dates in there, explore or ask Microsoft what games are going to be disappearing and compare to the ones that are to remain on the server permanently, and then you'll be able to plan. So presently, in addition to Red Dead, I played quite a few games during the last 6 months on the server, but recently it was Kingdom Come Deliverance, and I played it quite a bit, but similar to this one, it's an unbelievably vast, massive game with a lot of activity. I think it's actually bigger than Red Dead in terms of what you can do and the duration of overall campaign and DLC. And then once it came to cut-off date, I purchased the game, and it's probably the greatest amount I invested in game in many years. It's not massive, it's only about £15. I bought the Royal and the Ultimate Edition with the entire content. That was not accessible on Xbox Game Pass, must admit. There's quite a big section in there that will be just complementing the original game, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It has some serious hurdles, but the overall concept through which you're learning about the medieval kings of Central Europe and the noblemen and the kingdoms in particular, the kingdoms of Austria, Hungary, Bohemia, Saxony, Croatia, Serbia, all these kingdoms. It's very interesting to see that they researched it, and you have codex that is very informative and in-depth. So if you really pick up on a particular king or nobleman, you'll be able to research exactly who they were, what other families they were connected with, and you learn all about the history. So it's really terrific. And so in addition to that, I'm playing presently Night Call. That is a wonderful serial killer film noir style game, placed in the case in Paris, and I really love it. I think it's amazing. You learn everything about modern France, the France of today, through that game, and it happens through a dialogue between a taxi driver and his customers. Absolutely fabulous, beautifully written. I have to say, the screenplay for that, the write-up is extraordinary. It's on the level of Dashiell Hammett and Raymond Chandler of the 1940s, and really top-notch hardball dialogue, but very French and very much embedded in the French film noir of the 50s. So anyone who watched those films, like Shoot the Pianist and the Pudus, François Truffaut's third film, Bob Lafonbert, Jean-Pierre Melville, some Robert Hossein films, you would get the atmosphere. Rififi as well, Jules Dassin's films, absolutely terrific. It takes place in France. And the other game that I'm enjoying, that I also find to be very exciting and mind-boggling, is really a psychological thriller stroke horror stroke survival game called Man of Maiden. And I'm sure that you are familiar with the title, and I most highly recommend you the game, because everything is there. You can do it as a single player or in a co-op, and also I think they give you an opportunity to play all characters, but you have to be switching your controller, I think, between various participants. I don't think it will be like a multiplayer of 5 or 6 who are doing it from separate consoles. But the idea is that you're part of the group and you're experiencing quite the fear and the terror as they enter a supernatural environment. Very creepy, very scary, very atmospheric, and if you are in possession of a good sound system or high quality headsets, you are going to be having lots of chills and thrills as you're watching and playing. And don't play them at night, or particularly before you go to bed, because you may dream of some of the activities. Really, I'd say almost a near masterpiece type of game, and they are going to be presenting a series which they called what's it called, Dark Series Anthology, or is it Dark Production Anthology? Each one of those were dedicated to kind of a different environment, but with the same concept, and I really look forward to that. They had what was the game called? Was it Until Dark or After Dark? It was a big game 5 years ago. It was a horror game happening, like a cabin in the woods style atmosphere. I really excelled within the genre, had huge amount of followers. It was a huge success on all platforms, and that's obviously the reason as to why they are progressing forward rapidly with these other games. Madam Maiden's been out for about a year, and there's a new game coming out very, very shortly with Will Poulter in one of the lead roles. I watched some documentaries and some developer diaries on this, some interviews, and they are obviously pretty much blending in well with the previous title, Man of Maiden, most notably, and I look forward to that as well. So these are the news. Nothing else really in terms of Xbox and PlayStation during the last couple of days. We are all hotly anticipating the release of the new consoles, as well as the games that will follow. We've seen during the previous weekend an abundance of trailers and titles launched at Gamescom, and hope you all watched it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. There was actually too many things to take on board. I'm still watching the opening night and soaking up some of the details, because I feel that it's just too many games, too many titles, too many characters, too many developers. I think in due course there will be downsizing, as the current status reminds me of the Hollywood of the early 1930s, where studios were competing with one another and they were offering everything in abundance. It was too hard to even remember what films were being screened in cinemas, and that's exactly what we have at the moment. It's all about the choice and about what is on offer and who will get in first, and with instant access on Xbox Game Pass and PlayStation Now services, there's even a greater sense of competition, because lots of games want to get in there in order to increase the sales, or indeed to have that degree of prestige. And there's a big battle out there, and we get all the titles and all the trailers, but you've got 10, 15, 20 games you want to try. How are you going to be able to play all of them? It's just mind-boggling, as the games are very lengthy. It's different if you do a shortish, non-competitive platformer, but if you are entering games like this one or something on that scale, and due to the fact that the tech is becoming cheaper, or easily accessible, there are even smaller developers, people, the companies that will have only about 2 or 3 people working on the game, and they will produce a title that is absolutely gobsmacking and remarkable. In fact, if you were participating in the demo festival or summer festival, whatever it's called, on Xbox a couple of months ago, you were given access to 75 demos of brand new games, and some of them are really incredible. I mean, you can tell after playing. There was one particular game, I can't actually recall the title now, that was very much like The Outer Worlds and Fallout, and it was a game done just by a few people, like a small team, but it looked so polished. It looked like so well versed into that survival struck horror genre, and within a massive open world, and it looked beautiful. It looked accomplished would be the best word. And I like to see that, and I like to see that some of the indie studios are excelling. And I have to say, I applaud the Microsoft for providing them with space and time on the forums. They have a separate channel which is called Idea Deckbox, and that is dedicated to indie games, as well as very many being included on Xbox Game Pass. So don't forget, these games have no marketing budget, and therefore they'll be just stashed somewhere in the vault for someone to discover many years later, in dozens and hundreds rather than millions. And if you get on the Xbox Game Pass, you have access to millions of people worldwide, and that really is very, very proper and noble. And don't forget, Microsoft have been already acquiring certain indie studios, putting them under the umbrella. Obsidian being one of the best and the biggest, and we've seen quite a few games coming out that were really, really top notch, and very much as if just the indie studio would have produced them all by themselves without the major interference from the great big corporation. And that's very good. We need to still keep an eye out on the new titles and overall mergers to see how they would evolve in due course. Right, so these are the news. News about my lucky finds of 15 boxes of DVDs, as well as the games I've played, as well as some interesting information on Xbox Game Pass, as well as PS Now services. And now is the time to engage with the favorite activity of ours, which is online gaming, playing games either by ourselves or together with others, depending on what you prefer. And we'll crack on with our Red Dead Redemption 2. So let's just see what is before us. I completed a number of story missions yesterday and a couple of side quests, so that was really good, and today we'll just carry on with the same. I'm very excited to see that my progression rate is quite good and fairly fast, but I try to keep as focused as possible. Once you learn how to use the map, and once you learn how the map with the quest really works, the game becomes very, very placid, smooth, and interesting. It takes a little while initially if you're fairly new to the game. The game is very similar to the original, the Red Dead one, but it is massively enhanced, and there are so many different things you can do in here. Particularly I think on the audiovisual front, when you're riding and shooting, it appears to be a lot more smooth and less choppy. There are many more tasks that could be completed here through the inventory and the selection of certain types of items, and there's a lot more dialogue in here, although you're not really pursuing choices through the online dialogue that's displayed, like with pop-ups. You have non-playable characters, but once you start talking to them, you have options whether to be abrasive or polite, and that will give you a variety of options. It's funny, whenever you are loading the game, you get this fantastic landscape, and he's always positioned beautifully, so this is really remarkable, and I'll take a screenshot of this. Let me just have a sip of tea. Alrighty, let's have a look what we've got here on the map. Horseshoe Overlook. There was a letter for us in there the other day, and then I didn't pick it up quick enough and the letter was gone. Don't know whether this is a glitch or whether it was just the way it should be. I'm not sure. Anyway, we can see where we are. We have some other things to do there in the neighborhood. Stable is not something I'm interested in. And this is Jose Matthews. He needs help with a new business opportunity at Emerald Ranch. We did hear about this a little while back. Black Bell should be run here according to Notes and Levin's photograph. Bill of Midnight should be run here according to Notes and Levin's photograph. Okay. So let me think, what do we do? Actually try Black Bell. Yeah. If you guys are happy with that, we'll go to Black Bell, find out. It's a new area, we've not been there before. Call a horse. There we are. Stallion is there. We bought him. He's a tremendous horse. Stepped on that cactus. How is this possible? It's ridiculous. Hold on, I need to get away from the screen. Too close. The Good news is I'm also changing my setup next week. I'll have a new Sony Bravia, which is 60-inch, and we are going to have a lot of fun doing games on it, together with obviously films being watched. 15 boxes of DVDs, Blu-rays and streaming services. My goodness, I can literally live until the end of my days glued to my television set. But watching it on 60 is going to be a very, very good fun, and I'll feel privileged. Alright, so let's start right in. I've got to say, my community has been very quiet really since I resumed with my Season 3. And the main reason is that I'm not streaming Destiny, but to all of you Destiny community members, Destiny is going to be back in full force. Destiny 2 this is, probably even this week, as soon as it gets launched on Xbox Game Pass, because presently I'm doing everything on Xbox. Oops. Skid turns and skid stops with his horse. Right button and A. Oh, look at that, it's pretty misty in there.
Mister?
Hello, mister. Yeah, coming back to Destiny 2. Presently I'm doing everything on Xbox, and that is primarily embedded within all the niceties on its Game Pass. So we've been doing quite a few games here that are on it. We've done Kingdom Come Deliverance, we've done all the freebies in fact that were offered, as well as A Plague Tale, Red Dead Redemption and Tell Me Why. Since we resumed, Tell Me Why is still to carry on this week, but I wanted to really explore this game as much as possible before it disappeared. What was the other thing I wanted to say? Yeah, Destiny 2 will be featured here, and it is my understanding from Microsoft that that will be a permanent presence of Destiny, and that means we'll get the full content as well as the Beyond Light when it comes out on 10th of November, so I do not have to be buying it in advance, which is obviously very good considering that I'm paying for all the streaming services, and it is my preferred option at present, so I'll be able to both access it on the day of its release and we'll be able to play it and stream it in here. So that's terrific, because the only other game that I've done that with here was Tell Me Why, and that was very, very recent. But really, we are going to be looking at this sort of immediate proprietary releases on Xbox. We can preload them and make them ready for the actual date, and then on the date in question we can simply crack on with our broadcast. So that is what we are going to be doing. Destiny is going to be one of those games, and quite excited to see what changes they are going to bring, and I'm excited to see what Destiny is going to look like on Xbox Game Pass in terms of the content. They said all the content is going to be available, but we need to see whether seasonal stuff is going to be there, as well as all the quests and all the other bits. But they did confirm that all the other DLC that's been released, most notably the Shadowkeep as well as Forsaken, are going to be part and parcel of it and be constantly present. So anyone who had not purchased that, those two lots of DLCs, if you subscribe to the Ultimate, you'll be able to access it on the Game Pass. So that's Destiny 2 as well as the new content and the new DLC on the 10th of November. That is named Beyond Light. We've seen a lot about it so far, and we've heard that half of Destiny 2 is going to be going to the Vault. One of those announcements that was definitely frostily received. Nobody liked the idea of losing content. Okay, that looks like we are near our friends in here, or maybe not.
Yep.
We've heard he is likely to be there. So let's see.
Howdy.
Get the hell away from me.
No, he's not friendly, is he? Put him out
Let's see about this.
What's riled you up like this?
Okay. I don't know who he is, but he was being silly. We were just trying to be friendly, and he was going to open up on us. So there you are. He got what he deserved. Okay, he's been looted. Oh, he had 48 cents. Okay, he had a ring. So that's not too bad. But remember to talk to everyone and anyone whom you meet. You never know what kinds of responses you get. And most of the times they'll ask you to help. And then at times you get some unfriendlies like this guy. Or there may be bounty hunters who'll be after you. You have some bounties on your head, you need to collect a lot of money to pay them off, and then the bounty disappears. Like paying bail. Must admit, I find myself in a very strange situation. I'm playing this outlaw, and I try to be as noble as possible, so those two things don't really gel. And then from time to time, I'm reminded by the actual, the game, that my character is a crook. So. Still, you are given those choices, and you can be helpful to some people, and you can be very rough if that is necessary. I've just seen.
Hey, friend.
You looking for something?
Not really. Looks like this is. We're entering a hot zone, right? One of those where the guys are chasing us. Bounty hunters. The law. Wonder what's in there. Let's see. If anything. Oh, this is a stable. Okay, I don't need to buy anything really. Let's see.
Morning.
Good morning to you, my friend. No. Captain Mail him.
All right, girl.
I guess the reason for this is simple. If you wanted to steal something, you could. Okay, we'll go back. We'll go for our main destination in here. There is a train down below.
Yeah.
What's going on in there?
Hey, who goes there? You ain't no raider. You ain't welcome here. Get lost.
Oh, I got killed already. That's too bad, really. They must have some really good weapons. Well, these were bandits. So it was all right and proper for me to engage them. Right, so we've got to carry on. Oh, we are being left here at the stables, so that's alright. Where's my horse? Come on. I'm not gonna bother with them. Well, actually, well, they're probably gone now.
Yeah.
See? Generally, these bandits, they come and go, you know? They killed you, they come back, you will not see them again. Morning, partner. It's one thing that really crosses my mind when you play this game. You realize that in the old days, if you were riding, you know, in this sort of countryside, you were really exposed to any kind of misdemeanor.
Hey, partner.
If you're playing bad, you can be robbing every one of those carriages, and you know, have lots of badges on you. It all depends on how you want to play the game. That's the fact, isn't it? Just a minute. We need to go down here.
Yep.
Remember, you can always hunt when you see all these animals. Looks like we're very near. Let me double check on the big map. Oh, well, not that near. Okay. There's some carnage in here by the looks of it.
What the hell? I travel alone. Beat it.
Yeah, the weird thing is, if you want to slow down your horse and you know, you pull out your weapon by mistake, then obviously these characters are going to be reacting somewhat differently.
Yep.
Best to keep your weapon holstered unless necessary.
Yep.
Dinosaur bones is what I need to be collecting. Jim Boy Calloway, the noblest of men and a woman. Yeah, completed that. Right. Okay.
Yep.
Carry on riding. Why am I going back? Let's go across the bridge. Gosh, you just missed the ball. We'll find out.
Hey there, mister.
Sure. Go to him.
Calm down, will you?
You look like sheriffs, man. I don't want to go ahead because of that.
Go there.
excited with us continuing on wonderful Plague Tale. I need to really do as much as possible in here before we get back to our medieval France. Emilia and Hugo. Endearing, certainly really lovely characters and very lovable, both of them. A wonderful game, really. Anyone who liked The Last of Us will be in awe of the game for certain. There we are. I think we are now coming to this area, hopefully. Yeah, we are. Okay, so let's do it slowly but surely.
Yeah.
Please, help!
All right, friend, all right. You're gonna be okay.
You gonna help me? I need a doctor.
I should provide him with some medical then.
You gotta. You gotta.
Saint Denis Doctor? But where's that?
Please, do something.
I'll get you help. Just stay alive.
Okay. Okay.
Need to see where that Saint Denis Doctor is. Excuse me. Oh, that's very far. That is really far, isn't it? Doesn't seem to register for some reason now. Now we've got it. Well, as he is bleeding to death, we better hurry. And Saint Denis is an area where we've not been before.
I don't need to deal with this.
And I got mud in there.
I'm nearly there. Just hold on a little longer, all right?
Hold on a little longer, friends.
Must stay awake.
Well, looks like there are a few people we could talk to in here, but we'll give them a miss.
No me voy a meter en el...
Where am I?
Nothing so special. Hey, don't you drag me into this. All right, that's enough.
Oh, we got it already.
Now,
That's quick. Where's Saint Denis? It looked far from there, didn't it? On the map. Sounds good. Riding for a long while.
I'm dying. This is it.
This place is... Giddy up! Well, I knew.
Guess what? Lots of people in here are speaking French.
I won't forget that sight.
My arm. I can't feel it anymore.
Where now? I've seen everything.
Saint Denis is the biggest city. Much bigger than
I've never
Valentine's.
seen anything like that before.
Okay.
all right, friend. All right, we're at the doctor.
Hey, come on. I got places to be.
Oh, good God. Quickly, bring him in here. Sit him down in this chair.
What happened?
Just saw you fall out of the saddle. Don't worry, you're at the doctor.
Thanks, friend. I appreciate it.
Sure.
There's also the matter of my payment. But we'll deal with that later.
All right. All right.
A lot of blood loss. And this wound's badly infected. I'll save as much as I can, but I'll have to amputate.
What? What did you say?
Try to breathe. I'll give you something for the pain.
No.
There you are. And I'll knock him out for a while. You did a good thing bringing him here. But now, I'd recommend moving along. You do not want to see this. Sorry it's come to this.
Come on.
Mister.
Strangers. Let me see whether whether we've got that. No, that's not it. Story. Chapter 2. The fair shall be last. No, that's not it. Where's it? Player? Arthur? No, that's not it. Progress. Just a second. That's total completion. That's the one we want to see. Well, no, I helped him, so maybe I still need to go back and complete.
What do you want with me?
Well, you're in a bad way. But you'll pull through.
That was good work, Doctor.
He's lucky. Wounds like that'll kill you if you aren't careful. He's lucky he just lost the arm. It's nice of you to stay, but don't fret. He'll make it.
Okay, so that's finished.
Move your ass.
Will you move? We found a nugget of pure gold up in them hills.
Hello there.
Partner.
Señor.
Andiamo!
All sorts of people down here. Spaniards, Italians, you name it. What's the biggest city? Saint Denis. And if we look at it, Saint Denis actually is New Orleans. It's just the way it is, whether you believe it or not. We need to go back to the other area, which was Black Bell. So turn around. I thought, that's strange because he was a stranger, helped him, and didn't seem to register. Then maybe Maybe he doesn't classify as a stranger, maybe he's something else. I don't know how to tell. This is pretty. And obviously this is a much bigger city to what we've seen so far. This is no longer Wild West lawless environment. Doing something silly here would certainly result in a catastrophe and bring massive punishment on my friends. Jump to wagon. Don't wanna do that.
Hello.
I'm just amazed by how beautiful the environment is. So beautifully designed and presented. It's like a real Wild West. I mentioned it in my podcast, but I used to love and read Blueberry, graphic novel with a story that is matching this one happening at the end of American Civil War, and this feels very much like that world. So if you have a chance, get some of those Blueberry. Where's not Blueberry? It's Burberry. Hang on a minute, where is it? Blueberry? Burberry. Blueberry, of course. Why am I thinking of Burberry? This game must have been going to my head. He was Lieutenant, I think, wasn't he? Lieutenant Burberry, yeah. That's right. Still have my graphic novels that I bought about 30 years ago or more. Time flies, doesn't it? But I actually read them more than 40 years ago. So that's some time ago. Maybe even more than 40 years ago. Stop counting. I really don't pay attention to that sort of age and that. I think. 43 years ago! I don't believe it. It's crazy. Well, that stranger's horse is no longer there. But considering that he popped up here, there could be a skirmish. So better be alert. Alright. We arrived. So who's there? Who's there? Oh, this is really dreadfully muddy. Ah, yuck. Marshy swamps, whatever.
You there?
Oh, hello?
You a bounty hunter?
Well, not right now, I ain't. You Black Belle? I'd like to talk to you about your Wild West days.
I don't care much for reminiscing. You got any friends as bounty hunters?
None that spring to mind.
Well, then you done led them boys here and you none the wiser.
Ah, those bounty hunters.
Knew my luck had run out sooner or sooner.
Well, get inside. I'll tell him you're gone.
Oh, no. I ain't hiding from them scalp hunters. Not running from them neither. And fighting? Yeah, if it's just me against them, that'd be a waste
That's
of
gonna
time
be a
and
major fight. Get
You
ready.
know what I can do.
You want that Wild West story, don't you?
Yes, I do.
All right. Get up here quick. Now when I give you the word, hit that. Whole place is wired.
Black Belle, I got a contract here for your life or your liberty. We'd sooner it be liberty.
Mighty reasonable, mister. Come here, let me take a look at it. Come on. Oh, come on. Stop just there. We'll wait here too. Whoa, let's
Oh, I'm not taking cover. That was silly. Well, you know, in Ghost Recon in the Division, you keep taking cover straight away, but for whatever reason here, I find it to be a bit stiffer.
stop just there. We'll wait here too. Whoa, let's chunks. Over here, they're rushing us from the side.
Where's the other one?
Plunger, you want to see 'em fly.
No.
Got lucky. They gonna feed on ya. Get those sons of bitches.
Dynamite in there, I didn't realise.
Am I gonna have to kill all of them? Get 'em! Hey, you're meant to be saving this helpless old widow. Get to it!
Yeah, this repeater is a bit rusty.
Lady, I can't see you much in need of my help.
Sure, that's sweet. You're lucky I'm all wearied out. Back to the front! More riders! See there? A Gatling! Whew, that's a gun you fight an army with! Not a goddamn widow! Get him before the whole cabin turns to shit! There's gonna be some price on me when all this is done.
Price don't matter if it's idiots chasing it.
Well, at a certain price, you don't get idiots. You got a shot on the barrel, Frank? Don't rest too long. More coming down the road. They keep firing like that, one of us is getting hit. Make yourself useful and shoot somebody. Hey, take out the bullet on the back of that truck.
Oh, I see that there. Okay. I managed to get him, so that was very fortunate. That was very fortunate.
Let's go. Your damn jobs and stop 'em.
That's it. All done.
Is that the last of them?
Yeah.
All done.
Got them scalp hunters off your back
For now.
for now. So, you gonna tell me about your Wild West days? Running with Jim Boy Calloway?
Little boy Calloway? The only running he did was away from a fight. And that's about the end of it.
Well, the man's apparently a famous gunslinger.
Yeah, so they say. But, don't get what's famous confused with what's true. The ones of us that lived that life, we was too busy being scared for our scalp to talk to no newspaper writers or dime novel men.
Well, what were they like then? Those days they all talk about.
Same as now, I guess. Only longer ago.
All right. I'm gonna need your picture too, if it ain't a trouble.
No, sir, no trouble at all. Can't be worse than those awful drawings on the wanted posters.
Hell, great. Well, you stand over there and let me get this thing ready.
Ready? How do you want me? Like this?
Okay, got it.
And I guess I'll be on my way.
There. Well, thank you, Mrs. Bell. You gonna be all right?
Oh, been running for 20 years.
Ah, it's a
I'll be
glitch.
running
Didn't
till I
take a
drop.
photograph.
Just the way it is.
Good luck.
Let's see where the photographs have been taken. Just a second. Where is this now? Why is it I can't find it? Where are the photographs? So I've taken a photograph of her, but I can't see it anywhere. Photographer, maybe? No? That is odd. Does anyone know? Because when I'm taking those photographs, they should be visible somewhere. Compendium. No. It is not here. No, I've seen it already. Oh well, because I thought that the game jumped and I just like cut corners in there. I didn't think that I'd actually taken that photograph. Never mind, we'll just crack on with that next mission, because this should have been completed now, right? Mission complete, Black Bell. Yeah, that's right. After defending a hideout in Blue Water Marsh, the gunslinger known as Black Bell poses for a photograph for Levin's biography of Boy Calloway. So it looks like actually we did take a photograph, otherwise we would have not completed the game. Fair enough, we'll crack on with another task. Not help. No, we do not need any help as yet. And let's see what's nearby, if anything. Oh, we've got something there. What's that? Jose Matthews. He wants to start up a new business venture. Right, so that looks like a... Right, so I am not too far from Billy Midnight. Okay, we'll go there. So that's not too far. We'll do Billy Midnight. Let's see what he wants, and probably likely to be similar to Black Bell. Did it register on the progress? story. Chapter 2. So the side mission. Okay, fine. No worries. Come on. Where's my horse? There. Okay. Jump on the horse and let's just rock. So we're going to our next destination, and it's one of those side missions where you actually don't know what you are going to be finding after you get there. Similar to Black Bell, which we just completed, which is fairly close, I think.
Hi there, mister.
Hi there, mister. I talk to everyone. I've not been collecting a lot of money, I have to admit. Mind you, I spent a lot of money on my horse. My horse was really probably the most precious asset I acquired so far. Always remember to look around and enjoy this wonderful environment of Red Dead. It's just so beautifully reconstructed. It's your proper Wild West of the 1899. Oops, nearly went the wrong way. All the riding in here is very similar to GTA driving. I find this to be a bit more pleasant. That driving in there is a bit more stressful. In here you stroll and enjoy everything. On the other hand, if I played my character as a real bad guy and attempted to rob every single stagecoach and any ride I would have met, then it would have been a lot more stressful because the bounties would be everywhere and I'd have the law chasing me through the countryside. I decided not to do that, to have a leisurely game. But at times it gets hectic, as you've seen. But it seems to be further away than expected. I thought it was closer. Just my estimate. Alright. Hang on.
Lily May, you think you're so great. Running around, nose in the air, holding hands with that dumb lunkhead.
A sentiment I'm familiar with. Fair enough, kid.
Hey, mister. I just want to be left alone, all right?
So he doesn't want any help. It's a bit odd.
You wait.
Take a
Billy May.
screenshot of this. Really pretty.
Someday, I'll show you.
No need to be wasting my valuable time if he wants no help. Okay.
Me court you.
We'll crack on to our destination. It's weird because sometimes the strangers want your help, at other times you need to intervene, like what we did just like 10 minutes ago in Saint Denis. Picked up that guy who lost his arm. Well, he had his arm on at the time when we picked him up, but he lost it as he was brought to the doctors. Because guess what? He was developing gangrene. And the oddest thing there was that the doctor amputated his arm and then just placed it in a dustbin It was really odd.
Yeah.
Big grizzly as well. For my liking. Night cycle. Roads. Okay, let's just try to bypass those guys in there.
I don't think you got any idea about the land you're walking into. Put on the radio.
How are you? Excuse me.
So he likes to be there. We came to the destination pretty much. What time is this? Roads, of course. How could I forget? Okay, so where is he? So he might be hiding. Let me see. Let me see on the big map, because on the small map okay, so we know exactly where he is now. The other waypoint was a bit of an arc. Once you get to a settlement or town, always make sure you really position yourself correctly, otherwise you'll be having an empty run. Looks like he's inside. Okay, stable. We need to first of all place our horse in here, I think, more or less. Well, okay.
Lawmen rounded up a bunch of illegals, walked them out of town, and strung them up. Good riddance.
Yeah, that don't surprise me none. Hey, fellers.
Hello?
Howdy.
Howdy! No, look at this.
How do you do?
Hello, mister.
Hold your horses, won't be long.
Hey, you there. A quick word.
What can I do for you, sir?
There's an old gunslinger I'm looking for. I heard he comes through here. Name of Midnight? Billy?
Oh, that old soak? Yeah, he spends days on board these trains, but he's going nowhere but the gutter. I imagine you'll find him right in the next one through here. Either that or the next one. Try 'em both. Look in the bar car.
Wait for the train to stop. Okay.
You'll find him on this one.
So the train stopped. Oh, somebody playing piano in there. I don't know where. Is it done here?
Hello.
Hello. Oh, there it is. Okay. Well, we are in the train. Can we pick it up? No, we cannot. Well, he's going to be old, so that certainly will be after. So one of these ladies. Saloon. Another nice screenshot. I'm collecting so many beautiful shots here in Red Dead 2.
Mr. Midnight?
Excuse me, I'm trying to drink.
Mr. Midnight.
Mr.
This won't take a moment.
Midnight.
I just want to talk with you about your old days as a shootist.
Get away from me!
Hey,
I didn't shoot him in his sleep.
no one's
I didn't
saying
shoot him
that.
in his sleep, and if I did, it was the only way.
Not a problem. I'm hearing about Jim Boy Calloway, and no one shot him yet.
I knew you'd come for me. Get away from me!
Mr. Midnight!
We need to chase him.
I knew you'd come for me! It weren't my fault! I knew!
You don't know nothing, Mr. Midnight. I want to talk. Don't do something foolish.
You come for me! Come on!
Oh. Well, that's not funny. Don't really want to kill him because we need to get some information from him. So what do? We shoot him in the leg. Maybe. I was too slow again. For some reason the weapon didn't get drawn. And it should have been. Well, that's a bit too fast, isn't it? No time for me to draw my weapon. Why is the weapon not drawn? Not responding to my controller. It's very odd. Got him in the leg. So. I didn't shoot him. No. That's ridiculous. That's not fine. It's unlike. No, I keep forgetting what this is. I've done it already so many times. It's the first one. Progress. Story. No, it's compendium. It is compendium. Equipment, fish, gangs, plants, horses, weapons. Midnight's pistol. So this is a rare Mauser pistol. It looks like a Mauser. This weapon features gold-plated engravings and a black wooden grip. Previously owned by the late gunslinger Billy Midnight, defeated in a duel with on a train departing Rhodes. This gun has an ammunition capacity of 10 rounds. Can use regular high-velocity split-point, express and explosive pistol ammunition. Curious to see whether Ranger's revolver would be better. No. Okay, we'll try it. Doesn't matter. We can try it, and we can always resort to another weapon. No big deal. Photograph. Oh, I got it, so it goes to the social club, okay. So let us see what we collected. That's from the very beginning, isn't it? Right, so let me just see if there's anything I can get rid of. Yeah, this is a bit annoying. Why is it that the roll was already full? I didn't really take that many images. It's just really odd. You know, it just seems like not that many. In fact, can be taken. Well, I don't want to spend too much time in here. Obviously, we need to push on. This is not very good. Stop that.
Damn it! Put his bastard down, son. Darn it.
What Sam hell's going on back there?
Get out. Who's asking for help? Hang on.
What in the hell are you doing?
You mind your business, I'll mind mine.
Somebody was asking for help, but I didn't see anybody now. Oh, we come back to Saint Denis. Let's see. Lawmen. Plenty of lawmen in there. See, maybe somebody is hiding there on the platform. I didn't see or hear anyone.
Every time.
So where is the person who wanted to be helped? Why don't I hear anything from him anymore?
Not again.
I don't see or hear anything or anyone. So there you are. No use.
For Christ's sake.
Good morning, you hear?
Damn horse.
Hmm.
Hey now, you're acting like a damn fool.
Hmm. Never mind, we'll go to that show then. Curious, really? This looks like a theatre as well, doesn't it?
Howdy. What's happening?
Howdy.
Oh, yeah? Hello there. Yeah, want me to get the law? I know you. Got a hole. You better hold it right there.
Well, that was ridiculous. I literally walked into that policeman without even thinking. Let's see what happens next. I need to find another route. Forgot about the bounty.
Hey there.
Good morning, sir.
Hey.
So you getting along okay?
I just don't know.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning to you, gentlemen.
Hey.
Morning to you.
Morning to you.
Morning to you.
More and more settlers keep passing through on their way west.
Vamos de mal en peor.
Hey there, kitty.
Morning to you. Wanna buy a ticket, please?
Make your way through the doors on either side of me.
Hey, folks.
Bonjour.
Folks, I'm gonna tell you a morality tale from when our country was young that the settlers used to tell about the woods of Massachusetts and the creatures that lived there. One summer, a bear was by the stream. An old man Wind appeared and said, "Bear, I shall blow a mighty cold upon the land, and gorge yourself on fish and meat, and go find a den. Then sleep, not for one night, but for 60. Go tell all the animals of the forest what I have told you." Bear was sad because the fish were his friends, and now he had to eat them. But he knew to do whatever the wind told him. The animals of the forest often teased Bear and said he was slow and lazy and foolish for listening to Old Man Wind. "You're talking to the wind again, eh?" laughed the rabbit. "I think Bear has finally taken leave of his senses," said the turtle. "And he's getting so rotund that even I could outrun him." "I'm smart and quick," said Rabbit. "I'll outrun Old Man Wind if he comes a-calling, or you, since you're into eating your friends." The turtle said, "If Wind comes, I'll just hide in my shell." Then Bear went and warned Coyote and Possum that they should prepare for a long, cold winter. "It's so hot," said the Coyote. "There's plenty of time." The lazy Possum said, "Well, there's an abundance of food. Maybe I'll just store some in my pouch." Even his squirrel friends made fun of Bear. They laughed and squibbled and squabbled. "Chunky needs a nap. Fatty Goody Two-Shoes does what he's told." Bear was very sad. But he was a good bear, and he always did what Old Man Wind told him. He went and found a den, snuggled inside, and fell fast asleep. Bear snored and snored for many days. When he woke up, he saw spring had come. He was very hungry, so he walked outside. As the snow melted, he saw all his friends who hadn't listened frozen and just ready to be eaten. And that's why the bear hibernates. So listen to your elders and do just what you're told.
This was a really good magic lantern performance of anyone who is not familiar. Magic lantern was a predecessor to what we know as cinema today. I'm not 100% sure whether they would have had a theatre style facilities for them to be screened at the time, because this cinema, whether watching it, is already equipped for moving pictures, and moving pictures already were in circulation in 1899. But Magic Lantern is a wonderful old invention. I think even the old Chinese culture had it, with shadows and all sorts of slides that were inserted and then projected on a bigger screen. So we watched a performance, and in fact I can tell you, years back we've had a wonderful museum in London called MoMI, the Museum of Moving Image, and they've had quite a selection of the old magic lanterns, and they had some of the original reels, of images that were being inserted in there. It was a beautiful collection, and I went to the museum quite a number of times, and every time I was amazed by the size and the beauty of those designs, and it is really truly remarkable that Rockstar Games indeed paid attention to it and brought it into this urban Wild West environment. As you could see, the urban environment is significantly different compared to small settlements, and in here you already have both culture and civilization as we know it. So very interesting, and really very true to fact, very historically accurate, which is what I talked about yesterday in my podcast. So anyone who is walking through the town should basically try out any of the facilities. So we've tried the magic lantern place, go outside, and then we'll try another. We go and watch a show. It's quite funny that such
Hope you had a nice time.
an outlaw.
Is that so?
And also when you talk to some of the characters, they really tell you a lot about that environment, all that's been happening in the cities of that era. This is the law.
Morning.
Morning. Okay, so let me just see. We're gonna look at the big map, because the big map will tell us whether there are any other facilities which we could visit. So let me see. We've gone to that one. Presently there's no show. Okay. There's a post office and railway station. We've been there. And then in here we'll have a show. Let me see, we marked it. In here we have bounty poster. Okay, we can pick up that one and collect the bounty. Dominoes, we can play some dominoes, that's gonna be good. Saloon, could be some trouble, we'll also have to see. Okay, so let's just walk and go to the theatre. I guess I shouldn't be running when I'm in the city. Just another policeman spotted me. And
Hey,
oops.
careful now.
Somebody help me! Cap? Cap? I've lost my friend!
Clear the way.
Somebody help me, please!
Who's talking?
Has anyone seen
Look out.
Gavin?
Morning.
Good morning, you hear?
Well, I see you didn't get the message last time. Well, I'll be keeping an eye on you, that's for sure.
I'm looking for Gavin. Be my best friend. He left me. I lost him.
Good morning.
I lost him. Someone must have seen an Englishman. It's really funny here.
Doctor's been taken. Country boy thinks he can hack it in the city.
Good day.
Hello, gentlemen.
Morning. I'm looking for my friend. Gavin. Gavin.
Where the hell are you?
Good morning, sir.
Morning to you.
Hey,
Hello, sirs.
Morning to you.
Has anyone seen Gavin?
Hey, mister.
Morning, mister.
So where's the guy asking for Gavin?
Good morning, mister.
Has anyone seen an Englishman called Gavin?
Come on. Well, there you go.
I'm looking for my mate Gavin. Somebody help me. Gav?
Morning, partner.
Gav?
Watch yourself.
I've lost
Hey!
my friend.
Open your eyes.
Somebody help me, please. Don't have to tell me.
Morning, sir.
get squirrely with me.
How's it going?
Morning to you.
I don't actually see him. Odd. I can hear him, but I can't spot him.
I'm looking for Gavin. He's my best friend. He left me. I lost him. I lost him. Someone must have seen an Englishman. Really funny he is.
Where is he? I can't see him anywhere. He must be around here because it's quite loud.
I'm looking for my friend. Gavin. Gavin. Where the hell are you?
Morning, my friend.
I don't like seeing such things. Hi.
Gavin? Has anyone seen Gavin?
I guess I'll settle down one of these days.
Hello there.
No. I can't find him, so therefore I have to give him up.
Has anyone seen an Englishman called Gavin?
Ow. You've seen everything now. Hello.
Excuse me, partner.
I'm looking for my mate Gavin. Somebody help me! Gav? Gav? I've lost my friend.
How's it going with you?
Help me, please.
You know, could be better.
Morning, friend.
Morning, partner.
Hey, mister.
Morning.
Has anyone
Look
seen...
here. Howdy, fellas.
Hello.
They raised the prices at the saloon. Didn't bother to scrub the blood out of them.
Out of
That's
the
what I
way!
heard.
Hello. Buenos días.
I'm looking for Gavin.
Morning, mister.
He's my best friend. He left me. I lost him. I lost him. Someone must have seen an Englishman.
Mister.
Really funny he is.
Be careful.
Hello, sir.
I'm looking for my friend. Gavin. Gavin. Where the hell are
That's really annoying because I can hear him and I can't spot him.
Donkey! You cracked? Gavin?
Hey, partner.
Buenos días, señor.
Dumb as hell.
That was startling to say the least.
Y'all. I know it.
Has anyone seen an Englishman called Gavin?
Hey there.
Unbelievable.
Partner.
lost on the way to the outhouse?
Real funny.
Come on, gotta go.
Adam, back here.
Hello, sir.
I've lost my friend.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Yeah. Hey, mister. Clear the way.
So where is the theatre? Still not there, so it's further down the right.
Oh, hellfire!
Bonjour, monsieur. Looks like I put it down here somewhere. Vaudeville. So we'll go and take a nice screenshot of our friend in here. Yeah. I like him like that when we're a bit distant. Hello?
Welcome. Here for a show?
Indeed I am. For $2. It's quite a bit.
I need a ticket, please.
The Terroir awaits you behind those doors.
It's beautiful, look at that. So where's the main entrance? Probably in the middle. It's like a bar.
Hello! Yes! Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. I am your host, Aldridge T. Abington. Thank you. Yes, Aldridge T. Abington. Few men have had a career more crowded with incident and various intercourse with the world than I. During extensive travel through this and foreign lands, I have procured a show so fantastical there exists nothing like it. Anywhere. In an effort to bring this entertainment to even the poorest dreamer of dreams, I have determined the ticket price should be very low, and the show held without a profit. To me, it's true. For it is blessing enough to bring these gifted artists to you. I discovered this next act in a tiny village in Italy. Truly the most exotic of places in the world. He was just a 10-year-old boy. I raised him. I bathed him. I shaved him from head to toe. He is truly a wonder to behold. Presenting Benjamin Lazarus!
That's where the theatres were, you know, vaudeville. Entertainment, live performances, sometimes theatre, sometimes fun, music, stand-up comedians. Yeah, want to see the Lazarus, come on. So what's keeping him? We want to see Lazarus, come on. Is he going to be coming up or not? Is the question. Yeah, it looks like he introduced Lazarus, but unfortunately we are not going to see the performance because they've not done it. And oh, there it is.
Of dark arts and mystical prowess, my dear ladies and gentlemen. Now, it's unfortunate fact that in this mortal coil we are all born to suffer from all manner of maladies in daily life. Here has not had a friend or loved one near death's door from coal gas fumes, typhoid fever, diphtheria, or the bite of a rabid animal. The greatest wealth is your health. All the gold in the world cannot purchase it, and yet it is the most delicate and tenuous of all life's gifts. And nothing knocks down death's door faster than this. A man cannot outrun a bullet. Many fools have tried and failed in this endeavor, including the tonic salesman I caught betting my wife. I joke. I joke. I assure you, he has met his maker and they are playing gin rummy among the molten lava of Hades. I have traveled all around the world, delighting young and old with all manner of feats of amazement, but none are as dangerous as what I am prepared to attempt tonight. I will hand this DD Packenbush revolver over to my assistant and stand at considerable distance across the stage. She will point the revolver at my head and pull the trigger using lightning-quick reflexes taught to me by a tiny man I met in the distant Orient. I will catch the bullet in my teeth. Yes. My teeth.
Catching the bullet with his teeth. Well, that's something.
If my sharpshooting assistant would be so kind as to shoot this bottle of Lally Cola off my head.
This is insane.
Off my head. Careful. I could do without a bullet in the brain right now.
Okay. Oh my god, what?
Oh my God! Sweet Jesus.
This always scares me. Now, observe as I, the great Benjamin Lazarus, will do what no man has ever done and cheat death as if it were nothing.
What is he doing?
Let's do that again.
Oh, take it.
You're pulling my leg. This is a bunch of dang balderdash.
A skeptic, I'm Benjamin Lazarus. I assure you, I am not participating in some hoax or carnival ruse. These bullets are 100% real. In fact, I challenge any member of the audience to come forward with their own firearm, and I will yet again display my uncanny skill to catch a bullet in my teeth.
On with the show.
Is no one man enough? Come on, someone stand up and take a shot.
Okay. If nobody else is gonna expose this phony, then I will.
I trust you are a good shot, sir?
I can shoot a fly's wings off at 100 paces.
Excellent, my good man. Now, ready? Take aim.
Right, it's too much.
And fire.
He gonna knock his teeth out.
Is he okay?
Dang, how did he do that?
Believe, ladies and gentlemen, death is just an illusion after all.
There we are, this was a good show. So now we are well nourished with entertainment. Really cool. And I've got to say the cinema and this theatre have been so beautifully reworked, it is extraordinary. A true pleasure to be viewing and enjoying all that is here on offer. Can always pop in and watch another show at a time, you know. We don't want to do everything at once. What was this? Something else to eat? No, buy. No? No, there was something to collect. Surely. This looks like an item for collection, doesn't it? No, it doesn't seem to allow us to pick it up for some reason. It's possible we come in here a bit too early. Okay. Okay.
Don't tell me you already guessed the ending.
No, I don't want to buy another ticket. I do not want to be aiming weapon at our friends. We know why. Okay. So where do we go next in this lovely Saint Denis, which actually is New Orleans? New Orleans. Let me see. Completed this. There's a bounty we could pick up. And what's this? Dominance of 5. I think we'll go and pick up the bounty. We'll do that.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, mademoiselle. Wait a minute. So the bounty should be across the road. Okay. Inside of the building. Okay.
I wonder if this job gets easier the farther.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello?
Saint Denis Police Department. Well, you're not here to turn yourself in, so I conclude you're a bounty hunter. May I direct you to the poster on the wall there?
Poster on the wall, so that must be up here. Inspect the poster. $100 rewards. Captured, dead or alive. Lindsay Wofford. Limon, Raiders commander. As the leader of the Limon Raiders. Let me see. He is wanted for raising a militia against the state, un-American activities, murder and adultery. The gang was spotted in the Mossy Flats region. All reward claims to be filled at and will be paid out in full by the Lambert Saint Denis Police Department. So let me think. Mossy Flats. Okay, we'll pick it up. Flip. Flip.
You going after Lindsay Waffle?
I might be. Or I might just want to hang his poster up on my wall.
Yeah, they're a bad lot, the Lamorne Raiders. Stupid fellas won't leave good enough alone. One of these days, the government's gonna get sick of private militias, you know.
One of these days, the government's gonna get sick of all of us.
Don't tell them I said that.
The bounty. Why are you making this feller someone else's problem?
We, sir, are an urban police force. And the Raiders are, well, mostly a rural nuisance. My men simply are not suited for this kind of work.
This feller in particular, Wofford, ain't it? Why him?
You cut off the head, the body dies. That's the hypothesis, at least. We shall see if it can be demonstrated with the Lamorne Raiders.
If the bounty's for this whole outfit, you should have made it more. Guess all that remains is to bring him in.
Remember, they forfeited their right to life as well as liberty.
Alright, so we've heard all about this criminal that we are going to be... Oh, look at this.
You must be damn stupid if you think you can come back here.
Who? Didn't come back in here at all. There we are. Open sesame. And then there was something else I wanted to check out. What was it? Dominoes. Yeah, we got dominoes. Let's go and play some dominoes for the first time in this game. So it should be across the road. Okay. It's in a big building out there.
Come on now, get moving, will you? You are beautiful.
Well,
Oh, it's not in a building,
I
it's
see you
up
didn't
here.
get the message last time. Well, I'll be keeping an eye on you, that's for sure.
Bonjour.
Behind you, ma'am.
Bonjour.
Isn't it here? Should be. So where are the dominoes? The classic game of linking tiles. In this all files variation, points can be earned when the total number of pips of either ends of the domino chain is a multiple of 5. Okay.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, ma chère.
Why is it?
I've seen happier times.
Good weather we're having.
Bringing me out in a flash.
Excuse me, madam, behind you.
Bien le bonjour.
So, you heard anything about any, bounty hunters in these parts?
Oh, you're asking the wrong person. Please. What on earth are you playing at?
I'm only kidding around.
Comme c'est amusant. You have a poor sense of humor.
So it doesn't look like we can play any dominoes. Okay. Anything else that we can do before we set out on that bounty hunt? Taylor? Stranger. Okay, let's have a look at what he wants. Let's see what he wants.
Mais bonjour.
Bonjour. Everyone's French in here. Goodness me. So this is where our friend is. Let's just walk towards him, shall we? He must be in there. And he probably needs some help.
Excuse me, sir. Can I bother you for a minute of your time?
Madam?
Bien bonjour. Can I tell you a little about what we're doing here?
Sure.
Less than a minute, I promise. We're trying to raise money to build an expansion to the Quincy Harris Memorial Hall, a shelter for homeless veterans and families. Can you help? A donation of $20 would put us well on our way.
Don't know what I've
There are
got enough
many
money.
on hard times. Many children without fathers.
No, I think we'll decline in this instance because I need some money to pay off my own bounty.
You'd be doing a wonderful thing that would impact many lives.
How come my horse is nowhere to be seen? Where is my horse? Where is my horse? I need to see. Stable. I see. So we need to get a horse ready. Looks like he's at the station.
Well, you have a nice day.
Likewise, ma'am. Villeneuve.
Good evening.
Good evening. Just amazed with how beautiful the environment is. You could just play the game for the environment, even if you hated the story, which is very unlikely. You know, everyone's gonna be loving all the activities, and the game is so well developed. So all of those delays were well justified because we managed to get a perfect game. I'm quite curious to see what it's like on online as well.
Coin, please. Please. A coin? Hey, you lend a coin to a fella in need?
Go get yourself something to eat.
Sir, I want you to have this.
Thanks, friend.
It's nice to give something instead of just begging. I hate
Snake
asking for
oil.
money like a goddamn worm. Groveling here in the dirt.
Hey, how you doing?
Good evening, mister. Starting to count more whorehouses than church houses.
Whoa.
So my horse really should be nearby. And there we are. It's cool. Excellent. We got a horse. And then now is the time to look at the next destination. So it was that mossy thingy, wasn't it? Let's see what it is. Lindsay Wofford, commander of the Limon Raiders, is wanted for raising an awful militia against the state. Right, we've got it. Let's go and get him. It's incredible when you consider how the old games were, you know, and how incredibly well researched, designed this is. You walk into a theatre, there's a play there, you go to a cinema, there's a movie lantern.
Just what is the matter with you?
Magic lantern, I should say, not. This is wonderful, it's beautiful. I love those atmospheric images. We get out of this town. Proper New Orleans atmosphere.
Une bonne soirée à vous, monsieur. Lady by the
God, it's so dark in here. Once we get out, it'll be less dark because it's interesting how they tailor the game to the actual light conditions. Obviously, in a city, it'll be darker in certain areas because your eyes would have not been adapting flexibly due to the incoming light from the buildings. But as you can see, as soon as we went to the area which is much darker, without any street lights, it's gone brighter. So that's astonishing. Really cool. Really done wonderfully well, and
Hello there.
thumbs up for the entire team who worked on the game. Rockstar. Rockstar did some very, very well-liked games over the years. GTA is obviously Grand Theft Auto, the most popular, and I guess the longest franchise that it had. Red Dead's there, and we have LA Noire as well, for everyone who played that film noir classic. What is annoying and to a degree infuriating for me is that I've got the game on 360, special edition with everything, and it's not backwards compatible. Why on earth is that? Because obviously the developer wants us still to be buying it, because the game had some problems initially on release, and you know, so I've got a special edition and I can't play it on my Xbox One. Well, obviously I have Xbox 360 as well, but it's a bit inconvenient swinging between all the consoles at all times, and I really want to be having just two machines in fact out for us to use at all times. And it's the same problem with PlayStation 3, because first of all, they're not backward compatible. The vast majority of the games are not accessible through the streaming services either, and therefore we are stranded. They said that they will not have backward compatibility in next generation console. I think it's really ridiculous. They need to go up a notch, really. They constantly wanted to be buying those games again, you know. They reduced prices, and then they have quite a number that are redone for PlayStation 4, like Resident Evil franchise, for instance, and you've got to be buying them yet again because the old game is not going to play on PS4, and you can buy a new PS4 version, which is not very expensive, but you just don't want to do this because you already own the game. So the model that they're employing is rather outdated when you look at all that Microsoft is providing, and I really have a problem with it, I've got to admit. because I have many games on PS1, 2 and 3 and just a minute. New Hanover. How far are we from our destination? Well, we're not very far, so it's very near. Roanoke Ridge. What's great about the game is that it's perfectly blending to different types of activities, you know, the dialogue and hectic gunfights with leisurely strolling and exploration. So it really is a perfect blend, and no wonder that it won all the rewards, all the awards of the years, and been labelled one of the best games ever made, which it certainly is, without a hint of doubt. Your health core is empty. What? Why? No, so we need to have a look at our items. Actually not. Items, horse. What's this? It's horse stimulants. The horse is being brought back to normal. And then we have here let's have a look at our satchel. See what we've got there. So that is special snake oil. Could take that. It's funny because we picked it up and we were given it by that who have we got here? Popnir. Hello, how are you doing? Popnir is here saying, "Howdy friends. Hello, how are you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us in an otherwise rather quiet community session here. We don't have that many people popping in for some reason. How are you doing? Are you a Red Dead veteran? Are you a person who is with the game literally from the beginning? Red Dead 1, Red Dead 2. We are doing the stream, as you could see, of the sequel here on my channel, because the game is disappearing this week from Xbox Game Pass, so I've given it as much time and attention as possible, and we are progressing reasonably well, coming to about, I think, 17-18% on the story and about 20% on the overall completion. So it's been very, very good fun. A massive, big, wonderful game with so many atmospheric, immersive sections. We just went to a theatre, watched a play there, vaudeville in fact. Then we went to a Magic Lantern place and watched a performance, collected a bounty. So, you know, really close to real life. And what's really incredible is the way they recreated the old Wild West. It's just absolutely perfect. Probably one of the best recreations I've ever seen. It's probably better than what you had in the classic westerns, and I really absolutely adore and admire that. So hopefully you're enjoying it as much as us. And okay, I picked these ones up, but I want to see what else we have in our satchel. If we have moonshine, okay, I will take that because I can hear that heartbeat, and shouldn't really suffering too much anymore because I've used everything. Satchel. These are the ones we completed. Okay. So now we need to proceed with caution and is wanted dead or alive. Where could he be? Well, we'll find out. We better stroll slowly. And that will be the last activity for today. Have a look at the map yet again if we are. I think we are really there, aren't we? Looks like he should be visible shortly.
Yep.
Hey, you! Wait!
There's some kind of issue?
Hey, mister.
Doesn't look like this would be that criminal, but we got some smoke billowing up there, so let's see what that is. Is it possible they're setting up a camp? No, it's going to be here, I think. We need to investigate the fort. Well, if we set up that militia gang, then we'd like to be there. Let's see what weapons I've got. Probably a bit better off picking up that repetition weapon. So what's happened to my weapons? Why is it that I cannot see my Winchester? That's a bit odd. I don't know what happened. Obviously we can't use it at the moment, therefore we just need to forget about it and then investigate the fort. Is from the other side. A bit odd that I can't get in, isn't it? Oh, looks like it will be possible from this side.
Lindsay Wofford, I got here a warrant for your arrest. The other thing, if it comes to it,
Well, I guess we'll find out. So I better crack on. Have been brought back to the entrance, but we need to walk around yet again. Such is the joy here.
Lindsay Wofford, I got here a warrant for your arrest, or the other thing if it comes to it.
A federal warrant? No, that don't mean much in a sovereign territory, mister. We've been beaten down.
Surrender. I'm well within my rights to shoot you.
Someone take the big gun! I don't know who this no-account bounty hunting bastard is, but he's gonna know the
From that close range, I forgot about him, but he's probably the guy that we want. Never mind, all looking quite good. Let's try this side. Oh yeah, it's a better approach compared to the old one.
The other thing, if it comes to it. Surrender. I'm well within my rights to shoot you.
Lindsay's down! Don't let him take him away!
That's not fair. So Lindsay appears to be there on that bridge. Alright. Maybe this is not a good position. Let's go further back. That's probably what I need to do. It's too forward. So what we'll do is we'll go inside, then we'll go outside.
I got here a warrant for your arrest, or the other thing if it comes to it.
No, that don't mean much in a sovereign territory, mister. We've been beaten.
We need a man on the cranker! Get him! You heard, Lindsay? Get to your places! We're seeing some fight today!
That mouse is actually quite good. It's better than the other weapon. Oh, they got me again. Oh, boo. I'm just well positioned in there. Mind you that there are quite a few hoods attacking me from up there, so that's the reason. Let me see whether I can go elsewhere.
Lindsay Wofford, I got here a warrant for your arrest, or the other thing if it comes to it.
A federal warrant? No, that don't mean much in a sovereign territory, mister. We've We've been beaten down and driven out enough. Let's make a stand, boys!
We need a man on the cranker! Get him! You're right, Get to your places! We're seeing some fight today! He's on government orders! It ain't our government!
It's not a good position either. That is too exposed. Well, I guess the previous one wasn't too bad. Just need to be a bit more careful. Because we aren't too close. They've got these machine guns and other weapons, and that is not going to be working in our favour ever.
Lindsay Wofford, I got here a warrant for your arrest, or the other thing if it comes to it. Surrender. I'm well within my rights to shoot you.
Why is he not down there being hit that many times? Maybe because I'm too close. I mean too far. It's always a possibility. I didn't want that to extend for too long. I thought the bounty was going to be nice and easy. And you know, it's always that last thing that you do. And then it stretches. It's the beauty of some of the games.
The other thing, if it comes to it, surrender. I'm well within my rights to shoot you.
He's a bit rigid in there, you know, and the controls are not responding to left to right. Got killed there a couple of times already. It's a bit annoying. Nevertheless, we'll get there. Mauser is quite good. More rapid than the other two guns I've had.
I got here a warrant for your arrest, or the other thing if it comes to it. Surrender. I'm well within my rights to shoot you.
He got Lindsay, but he ain't taking him.
That was good. Top, isn't it? I don't see him really. Where is he? Do you see him? Deadeye has gone up, so that's good. What's happening now? Come on, get up in there. Don't see where the other guy is. Salute. I think I know what I need to do. I need to pick up the body. There's nobody in there at the moment. How do I get up there? See? Pick up. What do I do? Oh no, no. Pick up. Alright. Oh, he's the one that we need, isn't he? Yep, we need to pick him up. And we need to take him back. Okay, actually, I need to loot first. That was his militia. Maybe I'll be quite rich as we bringing back $100 is definitely a very substantial amount. Doing that is no joke. Live threatening, so you know. Okay, so that's it. Where is my horse? Just a second. Drop him there. 1 minute. So I'll know that this is him. I need to loot every one of these guys. He's got some money. He had some money. Also looked like thunder. Okay. Pick him up. Now, who's... Yeah, horse is just there on the other side. Come on. There we go. Okay. Come on, don't run away. Let me just see. I need to give him something, I think. The horse seems to be a bit upset. No, not that. No, that's not it. So let me see. Cigarette. Snake oil. Raiders letter. Kentucky bourbon. Yeah, horse stimulant we need. We actually don't need it. That seems like big things. Okay. Collected some berries. Okay. No, I think we're okay. Don't need to bother. This looks pretty much sorted. Alright, so back to the map. Saint Denis. A bit far. That's the place, I think, isn't it? Yeah, that is absolutely correct. And there we are. Right. Time to ride. And then we call this a day. Oh, it's been really a very, very enjoyable day today. I have to say, I really enjoyed every bit of my gameplay, and it's becoming better and smoother as we go along.
You gonna bury them or what?
He wants me to bury him. Well, definitely not. As the reward is more than handsome, and this is why I've gone out here, to collect my bounty.
Yep. You see that coat? That's Lindsay Waffles. We're gonna take that body, mister. It's worth too much for you. He's trying to give us a
I don't think so.
We don't move, nigga. He's mine. Drop him. Drop him, damn it. No, you.
They got what they deserved. Put the weapon into me holster. Don't want to draw too much attention. My goodness, I'm so hungry today. I definitely need to have a good dinner. And today I'm having it early.
Everyone wants a piece of you, Mr. Wofford. Now, let's get you back. Yeah.
As quickly as possible. Well, they're very good in recognizing the character, knowing that there's a bounty there to be collected. That's exactly what I'm going to be having. You need to learn to shoot as you ride. Very importantly, you intercept frequently, and especially if you are to be playing the bad guy, robbing and looting and, you know, killing, then you'll have lots of these incursions and skirmishes. It's fundamental that you respond as quickly as possible. Just like what I've done, as you've seen. Bear with me a second. No, there's gonna be no trouble, no problems. To bring him back to the jail, that's all I need to do. For a moment I thought I went off course, but that's not the case. But you know, as you could see, the Saint Denis is quite a big town, and we're doing rather well here with yeah, not too far, we just need to squeeze in. No traffic lights. Nobody wants any trouble. We all want it easy peasy. Let's face the facts. Nice, easy. Most importantly, very enjoyable life. In this game there is a lot of trouble. Yeah, we're near the jail. There we are. Good lord. Okay. So what do we need to do? We need to get off our horse. We need to pick him up. Now we're going to bring him back.
I believe this body's worth something. Well now, so much for them boys being the terror of the South. Drop that raider in the cart out back. Come around for your bounty.
Oh, in the cart. So there's a cart in there. Right, so we need to stick him in the cart. Probably up here. That is it. And I go back to the police chief desk. First District Police Station in Saint-Denis. Saint-Denis. Look at the jail. The old cells. There we are.
Well, that's what they were, and not a penny more. Gracious of you.
And there we are, my friends. We had completed the quest, which was our bounty, managed to collect $100, had a lot of fun, did lots of other sub-quests and missions, and we'll just double check before we depart on the overall progress. Well, as you could see, I'm doing really well, and 22% total completion. The reason for that is I've been doing loads of side missions, and I kind of went off the main track, really, which is the story, and I've done it the other way, because some people keep hammering the story and racing, and I don't want to do that here. This game is all about the additional content, so play that first of all, and the main quests are going to be very easy to follow. So there we are. Thanks very much for watching. Thank you for being here today. Hope you enjoyed all you've seen. I certainly did, and we'll carry on tomorrow as usual, and I'll really try to work out how long the game is going to be still accessible for the Game Pass. I've got it on my console, so hopefully still for a few more days, and we'll find out as we go along. But so far so good. Really loved the game, and for everyone who joined us later in the stream, just want to tell you we had a very good 2-hour podcast yesterday on the history of Red Dead Redemption. That includes both games, and we talked about the history of the United States and how well it got represented here, how everything was really researched into the minute detail. So like you've seen today in Saint Denis, this fictitious city that actually is representing New Orleans, you have everything in there that was indeed present in the city or cities of that particular era. So hope you enjoyed the stream. Hope you will come back tomorrow and watch another at 2:00 p.m. I want to thank you for coming and for watching, and then I shall wish you all, first of all, a very good afternoon, and I'll see you all there tomorrow from 2:00.